Hey, Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about the Sun conjunct Saturn in the natal chart. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So first of all, what do you need to interpret this conjunction of Sun and Saturn? Well, definitely you want to see this in the natal chart, in the D1 Rashi chart. So see where this is placed from your ascendant sign. Very important to see. Also, though, you can read this from your moon sign as well. And definitely you want to see the strength and dignity in the D9 Navamsa chart, and the D60 will have the final say. It's also very important to see the sign placement of this conjunction. This will tell us a lot about how this will play out in the chart for sure. Definitely, if this is occurring in a fire sign, then there can be some frustration here because the sun will become stronger, which definitely will increase the ego. But this can be helpful as well in terms of your success, your progress in life. You have huge determination with this conjunction. If this is in an earth sign, then definitely this is going to make Saturn stronger in the conjunction. So this is going to make you a little bit more humble, more restricted with your ego, but it definitely gives you hard work and determination. If this is placed in an air sign, this can help you in terms of communication, intelligence, which could be very useful and helpful with this placement. But there may be some issues early on because Saturn does indicate delays. So you may find that there are some speech issues or educational delays early on, but ultimately it helps you the older that you get with this placement. If this falls in the water sign, then this is going to be a tricky position for both the sun and for Saturn. So this may create some issues with self-esteem with this position, but ultimately it can give you some deep wisdom and insight that you can share with others. You may also want to see the guna position as well. This could tell you a lot about how this will function in the chart. So is this in the mode of rajas, tamas, or sattvas? This is going to tell you much about this placement as well. It's also very important to understand with any conjunction in the chart that aspects will change how this will play out. So you want to see, are there any planets giving aspect over to this conjunction for sure? And definitely if there are other planets involved with the conjunction, this can change things also. So what happens then when the sun comes in a conjunction with Saturn? Well, the sun represents the father. It represents anyone in positions of power, authority, and even our own ability to rise in power and authority as well. At a deep spiritual level, the sun represents the soul and our true purpose in this lifetime. But at a lower level, it can represent the ego, where this can become very destructive, especially because sun holds us to such a high standard in life. It is definitely about taking the spiritual path, which is going to demand that we do everything with ethics in this lifetime. This becomes very important. The sun definitely gives huge courage, willpower, determination in life. It is our self esteem. So, this is why this conjunction becomes very difficult because Saturn is a planet of restriction, of delay. Ultimately, Saturn tends to give us the most difficulties early on in life, where we feel a sense of restriction or lack of self esteem in the area where Saturn's placed in the chart. Saturn also represents hard work, discipline, commitment, persistence. It is all about putting your efforts forward in life, and being consistent in this becomes very important. When we do this, Saturn tends to give us success later on in life. Saturn definitely represents the ability to be organized, disciplined, in all work matters. It is about service, service to humanity, about humility. This becomes very important as well. Now, because the Sun and Saturn are both about the government, Sun representing authority and Saturn representing public service, this could actually take you into a role that has to do with the government sometimes. We definitely want to see which of these planets, though, holds the most power in the chart. So we want to see which planet is at the lowest degree. This becomes very important to see. Because definitely, if Saturn is stronger in the chart, it's going to make you more inclined towards being humble, being disciplined with this placement, being hardworking. And this could pay off for you with this position. But if the sun is stronger, then it may flare up the ego, where you are seeking admiration, you're seeking to gain something through your hard work, which may lead to some disappointment. Definitely the house position that Saturn and Sun are conjunct in can make a difference as well. Definitely, if it's placed in any of the Kendra houses, the first, fourth, seventh, or 10th house is going to become very powerful in the chart. It's going to really dominate your entire life with this placement. And in the first house, especially, it can become very tricky because Saturn has lost its directional strength in that first house. So that's definitely going to give you this strong desire to achieve success. With this placement, you may find some delays and setbacks early on in life. You're seeking to figure out what is your purpose, and this may be something that comes later on to you. If it's in the seventh house, it's definitely going to cause some difficulties in relationships. There may be some power struggles, conflicts in that area. If it's in the fourth house, some difficulties within the home environment early on. And you may also take on a role of responsibility in your home early on as well. You may actually be acting as a parent and providing for the family as a young child with this placement. So it makes you mature very early on in life. In the 10th house, it can be very successful for you. But again, remember that Saturn is demanding humility and discipline with this position. So the more that you try to put your ego first, if it's in the 10th house, the more that you will find disappointments and setbacks. It's about using that position of authority to be of service to other people. And this is how you will gain the success. Now, this placement can make you very introverted early on in life because the sun, as I've said, represents who you are as an individual and your self-esteem, your confidence, your ego. So Saturn is crushing this from a very early age. This can make you a little bit more reserved, serious with this position. This placement, though, as you get older, can be very helpful again if you're coming from a place of service, of discipline, of humility, where you can actually find success eventually with this position. There can be a lack of purpose, though, early on in life, which may make you change your career or change your pursuits at certain ages of your life, particularly when Saturn matures around the age of 30. There may be some kind of change or situation where you find a different path in life. Definitely, though, it makes you a very disciplined and organized person. You like to have a sense of structure and discipline. And sometimes this can affect your relationships as well, especially if it is affecting anything that has to do with relationships. Seventh house, seventh Lord Venus in the chart, then definitely this is going to create some obstacles in your relationships because you want to have that relationship be something that is steady and consistent and to create that sense of stability. So you could become a little bit too controlling in your relationships. And this can come off as overbearing to your partner. So there may be some conflicts, power struggles coming into relationships as well. Usually, this creates some difficulties in the family life as well. There can be a lot of loss and difficulties early on in the childhood experience. And particularly because the sun represents the father, there may be difficulties with the father as well. Father may not even be a part of your life with this placement. You may have an absent father, or father has passed on, or there is some kind of disconnect with the father. You don't get along, you have different opinions and views with this placement, or father is facing his own difficulties in life, which is creating conflict in the relationship. Definitely with this position, though, what you will find, no matter how this is placed in the chart, is that Saturn is going to demand that you are disciplined, humble, and that you are always doing everything in an ethical way, that you're being of service to other people. So the moment that you do things to feed your ego with this placement, you will find some difficulties. The karmas will return back to you. So this becomes a challenge with this placement. Definitely, there's a need to keep the ego in check at all times. This placement also can take you through some dramatic changes in life, dramatic ups and downs, but also it gives you the strength to persevere through those difficulties. So oftentimes, this placement will make you resilient, strong with this placement with time and experience. But it definitely creates a turbulent experience in life, particularly in the personal side of life. There can be a lot of struggles and challenges. In the professional side, especially if this is well placed in the chart, this can give you some great success. But that means that you need to put more attention into your personal life as well. Making sure that you are focused towards your family members and loved ones can definitely become very important with this placement because this makes you a very hardworking person. Definitely, if this is placed well in the chart, this can make you someone who's very selfless. You want to give back to society. You want to fight for the freedom, to fight for the rights of others, to make a difference in the world. And again, ultimately, as you get older, you figure out what this purpose becomes about. Sometimes, if it is poorly placed in the chart, it can also show some separation with the family as well, where you may want to move away from your family, or there is a situation where you keep moving in life, you keep finding dissatisfaction. And so there's a need to find that sense of satisfaction within yourself. To learn to love yourself with this placement becomes a very powerful lesson. But definitely, if this is placed in a strong placement in the chart, this can show a rags to riches story. This can actually show coming from humble beginnings, coming from a very difficult background, but having the perseverance to rise to success in life can be seen. And definitely, this can give you an edge over your opponents as well, because this could show that you're very reserved. So you have this almost secretive side to you where you can remain calm and composed when dealing with competitors. But it definitely will attract many competitors into your life because definitely you're on this mission to figure out how to deal with ego and to have humility in every situation. Sometimes this conjunction can also give way to health concerns as well. So there's a need to relax sometimes. This can make you very stressful with this placement where you want to constantly put your energy towards work and responsibility. So definitely a need to take some time out for yourself with this placement becomes very important. Sometimes this position can also make you feel lonely in life. You can feel that you are separate or different from other people, or that you didn't receive the love that you were looking for early on in life. So it creates this separation. And again, this is particularly true at a younger age, that you can feel this sense of isolation, that you become more introverted sometimes with this position. This can make you very disciplined in terms of how you approach situations in life. You could be very much wanting to have a routine, to have a schedule, to have a plan of how you approach everything. And this could definitely take you into, again, government jobs, into armed forces, into the medical field, those areas that require a lot of discipline, that require you to be of service to other people, can be areas where you excel. Sometimes this combination could also take you towards fasting, meditation, getting into all sorts of practices of spirituality that involve detachment. Because again, Saturn is all about detachment. So you become very detached in your spiritual journey with this position if this is placed in a way that is indicating a spiritual path in life. But ultimately, this is a good placement in terms of your ability to overcome the obstacles of life and to find your path late in life to gain that success, to rise above the challenges. The issues definitely are going to come in the area of dealing with relationships and your personal life, learning how to love yourself and learning how to have humility in all situations becomes very important. So I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like this, don't forget to leave a like. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.